The line between success and failure is a thin one. Take a second and imagine a 40-year-old man who's living at home with his parents. No job, no money, no social life, no nothing. This is a big problem. It's obvious to you and obvious to me that something is wrong here. Now, if we look at that same guy when he's 16 years old, if he's living at home with his parents, blaming all of his problems on them, this seems kind of normal. So when does he cross the line from being a normal kid to being an adult with some serious problems? See, as a society, we draw that line somewhere, but it's not immediately obvious as to where it is. Because some people would say it's when you get out of high school, you need to move out and do your own thing. While others will say it's when you get out of college or grad school, or maybe even after you pay off all your school debt. If you're not careful, if you get out of school, you lose your job, then all of a sudden you could be living with your parents in your 30s with no money, no career, no nothing. All that time has passed, but your situation isn't all that different. And we have so much more control over this line than society would lead us to believe. I guarantee you that somewhere out there, there's a teenager who is working nearly full time, putting themselves through school because their parents aren't there for them. And they know the only way that their life is going to get better for them and for their siblings is if they do the work. Now, I'd consider that kid successful because they are doing everything within their power to improve their situation. Not to mention the fact that they've already moved through the 3 stages of maturity, and a lot of times there are full-blown adults that are still trying to figure that out. Now, if you're not familiar with the 3 stages of maturity, it's basically this. The first stage is dependence. It is when you come out of the womb as a child, you can't do anything for yourself, so you need your parents or your guardian to take care of you, to nurture you, to grow you, to teach you what you need to know. This is just part of the circle of life. We need that as a child. Now, after that comes the independence phase. It's usually for us, it's in adolescence at some point. When we rebel from our parents, we want to establish ourselves as our own person. We want our freedom. We want to become our own being. And it's very interesting because a lot of people view independence as maturity, as success. And that's not always the case. See, true maturity is transitioning from I don't need you to you can depend on me. It's being able to put yourself in a position to help others and be accountable for your friends, for your family, for yourself. Now, what this isn't is being a yes man, because you still need to take care of yourself. I like the way that Jim Rohn says it. He says, I'll take care of me for you. See, if I'm taking care of myself, you don't have to worry about me. And it leaves you to make your own life better. That's one of the ultimate forms of maturity. But that leaves us with the question, where do we put the line? Because I guarantee you, your line is going to be different than mine. The things that I need to do to take care of myself and reach my goals are going to be drastically different than the things that you need to do. But no matter what it is that you're trying to accomplish, there is a first step that everyone has to go through in order to get there. And it all starts with building your relationship with yourself, building trust with yourself. See, it doesn't matter how good your goals are, how skilled you are, how much money you have. If you can never follow through when you tell yourself you're going to do something, you can set a SMART goal, you can optimize everything, but at some point you just have to put in the reps, you have to put in the work, and you have to be real with yourself if you fall short. You have to deal with the consequences of that. And so many people don't like to get in and get deep as they build that relationship with themselves. See, in everything that we do, we don't have a skills problem. We don't have a money problem. We don't have a business problem. What we have is a people problem. Now, you might be your own people problem, or it might be with those around you, but I guarantee you, you're not going to be able to fix your external relationships until you fix your internal relationship. Because the relationship you have with yourself sets the standard for every relationship you have with others. If you don't respect yourself, no one's going to respect you. If you don't value yourself, no one is going to value you. And improving your relationship with yourself can start with something easy like building trust with yourself, right? Because if you want others to trust you, you need to trust yourself. The same as with value and with respect. So it starts with something easy like saying you're going to put the trash out on Thursdays and then doing it. Saying you're going to go to the gym twice a week and then doing it. Then upping it to 3 times a week and doing it. And as you continue to follow through on your goals, you're going to become someone that does what you say you're going to do. This is incredibly valuable, and it's the first step in improving your internal relationship. Now, the second step is actually looking internally and digging through some trauma and some pain that you've had over the course of your life, whether it's from when you were a kid, when you were a teenager, things that happened when you were an adult. If you don't deal with those things, it's gonna find its way into everything else that you do, whether that's work, your business, your relationship, your health, whatever it is. So you really need to deal with some of these internal problems. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is gonna be extremely uncomfortable. It's gonna hurt, you're not gonna like it, and it's gonna be one of the best things that you've ever done. I can tell you as a matter of fact, like 100%, that when I did this, when I started dealing with some of those things that have really, really bothered me, like deeply, like in here over the course of my life, I took a dramatic turn for the better. Like I'm happier, I'm healthier, I'm more confident, I have more money, I have better relationships. But it all started with dealing with my internal problems. Because the thing that you don't realize is that those problems project themselves onto everything else. And your problems become someone else's problems. And I can tell you with 100% certainty that whenever you're not adding problems to the situation, everything else gets easier.